In this video I'm going to be demonstrating the use of my pad square tool. The pad square is designed to fit onto a B-square type recoil pad grinding jig in order to allow you to set the angles of the stock on the jig much easier. Now, the standard procedure for a B-square style jig is to use the jig with a carpenter's type framing square. This is a very awkward procedure, in my opinion. You have to sit here and move the tool, adjust the tool like this until it lines up square with the stock. Then you have to set the square down, pick up your Allen wrench, tighten up the jig, and hope you don't move the jig and ruin your setting, which normally it moves. So then you have to pick up your jig again, check the square again, and sure enough it has moved ever so slightly, but it's not too bad in this case. You got to do the same thing for the other end. So then you grind this first end, and after you get the first end ground, then you got to set the other end. Same deal here, you set the square on there like that. Keep moving the jig until it lines up. Tweak it a little bit more. That's close enough for demonstration purposes. When you tighten up again, it's going to move again. You got to pick up the square and do it again and recheck it. So with my tool, the pad square here, it allows you to set the angle without having to hold the separate square. It slides on underneath the pad screws like that and just snug it down to leave it in place. By the way, this Miles Gilbert brand Recoil Pad jig, which is a copy of the B-square, basically an improved copy. It's from Midway USA. It has a set screw feature down here that you can adjust once you set this toe angle, and it'll come back to that angle just by tipping it up or down like this once you set that angle. It's a really nice feature, much nicer than the original B-square in my opinion. So anyway, you would set your angle like that for your toe with the Miles Gilbert jig. Adjust this screw right here for a stop screw. Tighten up the jig. Then you can loosen up the pad square. It's supposed to loosen up. There we go. Come on. Just reverse it like so. Slide it back under there again. Now you've already got this angle set right here if you use the Miles Gilbert type jig. And you can set this angle right here for your top. And then lock that angle in right there. You can remove the pad square. Proceed to grind your jig with your pad on your jig with no problem at all. If you happen to have a stock with a high comb like this, nice feature about the pad square that you can adjust it. Just move up the straight leg like this, put it on top of your pad, snug the screws down. You can very easily find the angle of that little rascal like that too. Much easier than trying to hold a framing square like this, especially on such a short angle. There's just no way to do it. The tool is available from my website, which is www.gunsmithertools.com. It's also available from Midway USA at www.midwayusa.com. And there's a link to both of those websites below the video.